You have the chance to be part of something.
What? Being electrocuted?
Chased by monsters and hunted by the police. Well, if you're going to concentrate on the dark side...
Literary icon Victor Frankenstein is always about somebody else, always about Igor, always about the monster.
Yeah, it's usually one of the three. Rarely is it Frankenstein himself. Usually it's the monster, and sometimes it's Igor.
And sometimes Igor. Yeah. Even the Bride of Frankenstein gets more attention.
I forgot about that bitch.
Than Victor Frankenstein.
Right.
It's about goddamn time people recognize the story of the man himself, Victor Frankenstein. Yeah. If it weren't for him, we wouldn't have this whole mythology. Actually, if it weren't for Mary Shelley. But that don't matter, because this right here, this is the long-awaited tale about Victor Frankenstein. And what's cool about this is that, you know, Victor Frankenstein can come in and narrate his own story, but it'd be a little biased.
Right.
Victor Frankenstein, played by that McAvoy boy. What's his name? James McAvoy. You know, that's a very complicated name. Yeah. Right? One syllable and shit. You know?
Professor X.
There you go. Professor X himself.
Charles McAvoy.
But this is told through the eyes of Igor.
It is.
Who is played by Harry Potter, Daniel Radcliffe. And Igor being rescued from a circus. See, you know, I knew that. Igor was rescued from the circus.
They don't know his origin.
Like a pound puppy.
Basically.
Yeah. From a cruel circus by Mr. Victor Frankenstein, who brings him in and realizes that, man, your mind is as brilliant as mine. Yeah. We must work together.
It can't be wasted here.
Cannot being a clown and shit. Yeah. Can't be wasted here. Together, young Igor, you and I can create life from death. Now, as I said, all these years, man, it's been about Victor Frankenstein. I mean, he has one of the most famous lines in the mythology of Frankenstein.
It's alive, it's alive, it's alive.
Igor's like, sit your ass down. Damn, man.
Chill, dude.
Yeah, but sit down, man. Shit.
Not that serious.
Yeah. Happy motherfucking, but it look like you're doing Broadway and shit right now. But you know why no one is cared about Victor Frankenstein? Because no one gives a fuck about Victor Frankenstein. He's really the most boring part of the whole thing. Yeah, he brought the monster to life, but nobody gives a shit about Victor Frankenstein. Yeah, it's about Igor. At least Igor had a hump in his back.
Yeah.
And all that shit. There's something cool about that. You know?
I don't know about cool.
Man.
Hey, bitches, look at my hump.
He was
sexy, right?
Yeah, he was physically distinguished.
Nah, man.
You don't think so?
No.
Hump day, bitch. Guess
he was a mongoloid.
Yeah. To me, that's more interesting. Anybody can like a plain old human. You know, you get Igor. Yeah. He stands out.
Okay.
I mean, and here's the thing. The monster, he even took Frankenstein's name. Like, when we say Frankenstein today, we think that that's the dude, the creature.
Right.
So, you know, you can keep Vic, but we taking this motherfucker right here.
I can give him a nickname on Vic.
Yeah.
Vic, you stay over there.
Yeah, you sit your ass down. Taking this shit. Yeah, well, nobody give a fuck about Victor Frankenstein. And so with this, that's kind of the problem. Because when we first watch this and we see that we have Igor, because even Igor get more clout. Yeah. And we're thinking like, oh, shit, Igor's telling a story. This is going to be the story of Igor. Oh, I can't wait to see. Because, see, man, we've heard the Frankenstein story many ways, many times, to parodies, satires, you know.
Oh, yeah. Young Frankenstein.
Yeah, boxes of fucking cereal, you know.
Oh, yeah, Frankenberry.
There
you go.
We've heard this story over and over again.
Told in every way possible.
Told in every way. And so, you didn't know Victor Frankenstein created the cereal, too. We'd heard the story. But I would have wished we had that. But so the moment that we get in and we see that this is about Igor starts telling us about Victor Frankenstein.
Yeah, it's basically, okay, Igor is the main character, but the story is about when he meets Frankenstein and they, you know, do their thing.
It's like, wait a minute, man, I was wanting to hear about you. You telling me this shit that I've already heard.
The thing about it is, when the movie starts, the thing that it actually hooks you. One thing about this movie, for me at least, it hooked me, and it was because of Daniel Radcliffe as Igor.
Yeah.
I mean, the motherfucker actually put something into this.
Because it's a very interesting story. Yeah. Why? Because we haven't heard that. Sure, it's made up.
It is.
Mary Shelley. Yeah,
it's totally made up.
Some kids don't know, Yeah. Y'all still think Abraham Lincoln's a vampire hunter, you know what I mean? It's
God damn it.
But the reason why, what I'm saying is, Mary Shelley wrote her novel 1818, almost 200 years ago.
Yeah.
So, of course, there was no circus. There was no Igor that was being picked up. That was, I don't even know if that was a character in the book. I never read it.
Yeah,
but
either.
All I know is that that's a compelling part of the story. Igor being rescued from this cruel ass circus.
Yeah, man. They treated him like an animal.
By the way, what kind of fucking circus is that?
That shit was grim.
Like, that's part of the act, abusing the clown.
Yeah, like beating him with a stick was, okay, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Next to the stage, Igor and the Stick Man.
Yeah. They actually, the act was actually bringing Igor out and gangs kicking legs.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Bravo!
Encore! Igor's like, no.
Oh shit, no. It's what the public wants. What kind of fucking circus?
It was fucked up, man.
Like you would feel like if he had the hump on his back, like maybe there would be a reason behind it. But he's just a regular ass guy. Why are they jumping him?
Well,
like this?
he does have the hump on his back. See,
okay, that's not prominent in these trailers.
No.
They explain it.
See, we already had sexy Frankenstein.
Okay, yep.
So now we got sexy Igor.
Okay.
And they explain how, they want Daniel Radcliffe. They don't want him walking through the movie, lunch stove and shit.
The way he was walking, man, it's no way you can watch that for an entire movie. This motherfucker was, like I said, he actually legitly put something into this. Like, how would someone with a crippled back and a hump walk? He got his ass sticking in the air and shit, bow-legged. It's insane the way he walks in. I was like, you got to stop that, bro.
Yeah. Almost everybody looked at that like, we ain't used to seeing Harry Potter like this, man. He's too cute still to be doing that.
Yeah.
So yeah, they straighten that shit out quick.
Very quickly.
Is it believable? Fuck no.
Hell no, not even close to believable.
That motherfucker does like 10 years worth of surgery in 5 minutes on this dude.
Really? A surgery that should take about a good 5 hours, he does in less than 5 minutes.
Yeah. Seriously, man.
It's pretty disgusting. But
it is. But we don't, that's not the story that we get. With this is something that could have been almost a satire of the original. Because what I was expecting was, and again, I'm making my own movie, but I thought, okay, you know what? Maybe this will be the story of Igor and how Victor Frankenstein took him in, and Igor was actually the brilliant mind behind this, and Frankenstein stole all the ideas from him.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, it would, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Would have been great.
It ain't this.
Oh, damn.
Not at all. The thing about this movie is watching, like, I got to admit, the first 30, 35 minutes of this, I was hooked. I was trying to find shit wrong with it because it had me. Because it had like a Sherlock Holmes, the Robert Downey Jr. Guy Ritchie version.
Yeah.
It was exactly that.
It really is trying to recreate that.
It was trying to recreate that, but I thought it was succeeding for the most part, at that little time. But then as the shit went on, it got it started to show its true colors. And
it was only the first 5 minutes that got me.
Yeah.
Because that circus scene at the end, visually, it's very great. I don't have any clips of it right here, but the whole scenery of London, it does have that
beautifully
Sherlock.
Shot.
Yeah, beautifully shot.
Yeah.
It's in a lot of CG that blends in with it, and it does have that Guy Ritchie Sherlock Holmes feel. But where they really go overboard with the Guy Ritchie shit, there's a foot chase in here, and it's all in slow motion while they dodging circus shit, like James McAvoy has in slow motion to slide on and duck a fire breather.
Yeah. Basically, yeah.
and the chase ends. It's a circus. I'm just going to ask you, where do you think it ends up? Like, what's the climax of that chase?
Yeah.
It's a circus. Where do you think they end up?
In the middle of the big top?
This man something.
Actually, no. It's the House of Mirrors.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Did you see this movie?
Wait, no. No, technically it wasn't. You're wrong.
Am I?
After the House of Mirrors, that's when they did go to the big top.
We're both right there.
Nah, fuck that shit.
It's all cliche.
Yeah, it is.
So, yeah, it's now, the funny thing about it is, man, the only thing that they really do different with this story is that, oh, you know what? We brought a fucking CG mutant chimpanzee to life. that runs around the place. Oh, look,
Caesar.
it's all it's Caesar.
It is.
It's like zombie
Dead Caesar, yeah.
It's like, and that was there. And even the movie stops to say, "Oh, here's our big CG part right here. Here's where the money for the special effects went for the creatures." And it's as a movie that wants to actually pitch itself as being something different, the true story of Victor Frankenstein, the prequel. It does a shitty job at telling us anything new. One of the things that's so sad about it, though, I would say that Daniel Radcliffe was interesting in the beginning, but once James McAvoy came in and started stealing the scenes, Daniel Radcliffe was just shoved to the side, and most of his lines was just be like, "Victor," and just look,
"This is wrong.
This is wrong, Victor." You know, that all that shit. James McAvoy is the only one, because here's the deal. For anybody who saw this trailer, and we actually did talk about this trailer a while back, it was pitched as somewhat of a dark parody, a dark comedy version of the Victor Frankenstein mythology. There's a lot of funny lines in here. The dialogue seems like it's kind of quick and witty. And even then, people saying this trailer looks like bullshit. But I was trying to give it the benefit of the doubt. Nah, man, it's not that. James McAvoy is the only one that didn't get that memo that they were doing a drama. Yeah,
that motherfucker just chews up scenery like no one I've ever seen.
He's chewing up scenery so bad, his lips are wet through the whole thing. You see when he was like performing and spitting lines?
Everything's over the top.
Everything's over the top, but at least he's bringing some energy to it and trying to bring the humor, because everybody else, like he thinks he's doing a comedy. Everybody else thinks they're doing like Jane Eyre, some Victorian age shit.
Igor and I stand upon the cusp of creating life out of death.
Mr. Frankenstein.
Victor, please.
I find your promise more than a little unsettling.
Igor, speak up. What do you think?
Everyday science and technology changes the way we live our lives.
Well said, that man.
Life and death are different.
I dream of a world where hope replaces fear. A world where a murdered man can stand in court to face his murderer, where a crippled soldier, shrapnel in his spine, can be killed, healed, then brought back to life to walk again. Life is beautiful.
You see them wet ass lips?
He's on a horrible British accent. Isn't he British?
He's British.
He's like, what the fuck is he doing?
Look, he's drunk through this, like he's drinking. Look at them juicy lips.
Oh yeah, his eyes are always glistening. His lips are always wet.
I think he was
moist
drunk.
throughout the whole fucking movie.
Motherfucker's moist.
Yeah.
British accent and fucking up a British accent. You know, he's British.
That's some talent, man. That is some true talent.
Motherfucker look like he look like a wino in this shit.
And I mean, look, the movie's called Victor Frankenstein. So, you know, like, how is Victor Frankenstein? I actually think this motherfucker's trying to be like, again, I hate to bring it up, Sherlock Holmes. He kind of has that vibe to him, like a funnier, crazier Sherlock Holmes. Like, he plays up that mad scientist shit too.
Oh, he does. No, he does.
Yeah, and one thing about this movie, I was like, man, I wish that they would have just let him kind of dictate the way this story went. Because honestly, throughout the whole movie, you don't know if this motherfucker's going to snap on a dime and, like, flip on Igor.
It did seem like that.
Climax, I'm like, okay, this is the part where he just flips on this motherfucker and, like, feeds him to the monster or some crazy shit. Because, I mean, he plays it that well.
Yeah, he plays it like
he
plays it like a dude that just got a hoe off the street. You know? Motherfucker, I found you. I will destroy you.
Look, did you notice? Didn't it look like he wanted to fuck Igor?
Man,
when he first brought him to, you know, after they escaped the circus,
like he was a dude that picked up a chick at the bar.
Yeah, and looked like Igor felt like he was about to get raped.
Yeah, he really did. Like,
he did.
Like he just brought this dude in his home. First of all, start rubbing on him and shit to get his back straight.
Take off your clothes now.
Yeah, now.
Yeah, Igor's like, what? Take off your clothes. So he goes like, no. Yeah, he grabs Igor. Igor's shirt rips off. He's like, okay, good. I'm going to slip into something more comfortable. Exact dialogue. I shit you not.
Turn into a snow film.
It looked like it. Yeah. Like, what the shit is going to get dark?
I'm not going to tell you twice. Somebody's giving up some ass tonight. Yeah, man.
Shit was frightening for a minute.
It was. That's the fun. That's the scary part of the movie.
That was the best part.
Thinking that Igor was going to get raped and shit. But there's all kind of, it's not just Igor telling his story that gets in the way, or Igor himself getting in the way. It's also a lot of subplots here that don't mean shit, man.
There's not a thing.
There's a lot of subplots here.
Like an old boy came back.
Oh, what's his name? Scott? Andrew Scott?
Motherfucker.
That motherfucker. So it's kind of cool they want to bring in this religious angle to compete the sciences in the movie.
That's what I thought too. I was like, you know what? If they would have went this route, this might have been something actually deep.
Yeah.
Believe it or not. Am I wrong?
No. When they first started
the
getting
shit they're touching on, I'm like, wow, that's pretty bold of you, to go there with this.
Because that's the thing about doing a Victor Frankenstein movie. The whole this thing about playing God. They say that line all the time. Man shouldn't play God, but they go into like some parts reasons why they shouldn't. Like they give Valerie like, oh yeah, you really shouldn't be doing this.
They literally have like a little debate between them, and it's valid actually.
But the problem with that debate.
Yeah.
And by the way, when you hear this trailer, it's gonna be this clip. It's all fucked up. I didn't edit this. They did a real heavy edited version where it sounds like James McAvoy is a skipping CD in it.
Yeah.
You hear it. I didn't cut this. They did, but they. James McAvoy again, trying to kick some knowledge, arguing on his behalf.
Right. Making great points.
Andrew Scott is kind of making good points, but he looks like he really don't want to fucking be there.
Right.
There could be a good. He plays an inspector who has a very deep religious beliefs, and he's after Victor Frankenstein not because he's doing something illegal, but because I heard that you're doing some shit against God.
Right.
So they have this debate, and really it would be kind of better dialogue if Andrew Scott would just wake the fuck up.
I should like to see records of your experiments for the past 12 months, if I may. If you cannot cooperate, then by God, I'll conduct a thorough search of these premises.
God, that's bad, man.
Yeah.
Half sleep through that shit.
It's like he's
looking all over the walls. I'd like to do a thorough search of the premises. Man, if you don't want to be,
files, God damn it.
yeah,
I got something to
your
see.
files. You don't want to be here, man, and just fucking go.
Why are you so interested, Nick, infatuated with this case? Surely there are more interesting mysteries to be solved.
What the fuck was that?
I told you they edited this shit. I listened to this about 3 or 4 times. I was like, man, somebody did some bad editing on this.
There are more interesting mysteries to be solved in London. Or is it precisely because this experiment, which you imagine took place, may very well discredit your own primitive belief system?
Be careful, Mr. Frankenstein. You toy with wrathful forces.
All that lead up for him to just be like,
There's no mercy.
Be careful. Yeah, just don't fucking care. And Andrew Scott, we just saw him in Inspector, and the thing is, I don't want to just come in here and talk shit against the guy because
he's actually a good actor.
No, he's a good actor. But in the last 2 movies I've seen him in,
he don't give a fuck.
He's played that slimy British dude, and in this one, this is far worse.
It is.
But that editing right there. I mean, y'all see if y'all can decipher what's being said here.
That shit is beautiful.
Yeah,
I listened to this shit about 4 times today and couldn't understand a fucking thing that was being said.
Why are you so interested, Nick, infatuated with this case? Surely there are more interesting
That sounds like there wasn't a fair Abraham.
Like he's auto-tuned and shit.
It sounds like somebody mid-stroke. I got home, potato chips, butt chicken, hot dogs. What? What the hell did
Take
you
this man to the doctor. I think he has a concussion.
There's other subplots in here. There's a love subplot in here with Jessica Brown Finlay. She plays the love interest of Igor in here.
Can I guess that they both Igor and Victor both liked her?
No, actually,
they didn't go the Sherlock route.
No, it didn't go that route. That's one of the things
route.
that they actually managed to avoid.
I feel bad because I laughed because it's a thing how Sherlock and Igor meet is when she gets injured and they
Who?
Oh, Sherlock.
Frankenstein. Don't worry, it's very easy to do.
Yeah. Frankenstein and Igor meet trying to help her after she falls from pretty much the top of the big top and hits the ground. I actually laughed, but I feel really bad about that.
When she hit that ground?
Yeah, because I didn't expect them to actually show her hit the ground, and they did. I was like, oh!
And just ragdoll. She was like a motherfucking Fallout that got shot.
Yeah.
Arms all over the place.
The glitches.
She had glitches and shit. Yeah, it's a funny scene.
It is kind of funny.
The biggest problem with this movie, man, is that you hear Frankenstein, you want to see the monster. You can call him Frankenstein all you want to, whatever.
Yeah.
You want to see the monster.
You do.
And when you finally get to see the monster in this movie,
think about the monster?
It looked like a man covered in latex.
It really did.
It looked like some 80s shit.
Was it worse than whatchamacallit? Victor, Young Frankenstein, Sexy Frankenstein.
Oh, Sexy Frankenstein.
Yeah.
Much worse.
It's worse than that?
Yeah.
I disagree. I'm gonna have to disagree.
Do you? Because it looked like a dude covered in. It looked like a latex man.
Well, yeah, obviously it did look like latex man. But you know what? I kind of put this like, okay, this wasn't made in 2015, even though it was. But if it would have been CGI, it would have looked evenly, as shitty. But I like the idea of it. And I like the look of them. They could have done better with it. But it pretty much is every kind of vision you have of Frankenstein, bolts in the neck, and that square head and shit.
They did it. Yeah,
they did do all of that shit. But I like the key, like the eye thing. I thought was really kind of creepy.
Oh, the way he was just dead in the eyes.
Yeah, dead in the eyes. That shit, that freaked me out just a little bit. I was like you, man.
Yeah, that's the one thing about it is that, when you see Frankenstein, usually that's the beauty of the Frankenstein monster is that you kind of have sympathy for him.
You do.
This motherfucker is like none. Yeah, you
better kill this motherfucker.
Yeah, get the fuck away from him immediately.
Yeah,
because he got no soul.
No soul whatsoever. I found that to be creepy and. The bar's not set really high on Frankenstein.
You're saying the best actor was the guy that had no line.
Pretty much.
Okay, sounds good.
I disagree.
Actors were good.
The actors were doing decent work, man. They were trying.
They were.
The Frankenstein monster, I disagree that I wish they had done CG.
Okay.
Because it just looked real fake, man. It looked like some rubber shit from an 80s cheap movie, man, for a movie that does this. Because I'll give the movie credit. One of the things that's alluring about Frankenstein is that over the years, even back when we had the old black and white movies, there's always been kind of this steampunk science to it.
Yeah,
and that's really big today. And they do it in the movie. It has good technology, it has great atmosphere. Costume design is amazing. It's too bad it's a shitty movie because as a period piece, it kind of works. If this had been a much better movie, all this stuff wouldn't have felt so wasted.
Yeah,
but
maybe if Joe Wright directed this, it would.
Exactly, man. But instead,
it had all the ingredients, is what you're saying, and it just.
You even had actors in here that were fucking wasted. You had Daddy Lannister come in here.
Yeah, out of nowhere. Like, this motherfucker right here.
What's his Charles Dance? This dude was in the movie for like a minute and owned that shit.
Split second.
Yeah, and owned that motherfucker.
Him, he just in and out. I was like, why did you even
show up?
Like the way I keep talking about it, I feel like there were so many potential roads they could have went down.
Oh, because
you're saying like the relationship problem, or Daddy Lannister coming in,
religion aspect,
or the religion aspect. Yeah, but like it seems like every time they got to that road, the fork, they're like, you know what, we're gonna go the wrong way.
Not only did they take a wrong turn, they ran that motherfucker off a cliff.
They really did, man. It like the movie starts off and you're looking at it, you're like, okay, they could go this route, they can go this route. All you see is upside. You're like, okay, so maybe they'll pick one of these roads, and they go the most mundane, cliche, lulling.
Yeah,
it's stagnant. It's so stagnant, man, and it's fucking long, and it doesn't need to be.
Oh, it doesn't. I had the theater to myself. I went to 10.
So did I.
Did you? Were you the only one?
Me too.
What theater did you go to?
I went to Lakeline.
How the seats at the Lakeline, man?
Yeah.
Because I went to, sorry people, I just got bragging about that. They told me, I went at 10 in the morning. They said, you had the theater to yourself.
Oh.
And I walked in, and it looked like they took seats out. And I'm like, what the fuck? And they had this shit looking like a living room.
What?
With a whole lot of recliners.
Whoa.
And, man, no bullshit. I went to Westgate.
Okay.
And I went down, I sat down like, this is the most uncomfortable fucking seat I've ever been because it makes you stand straight up. And I was looking around and I saw this button. I pressed it. It reclined like a lazy boy, man.
Yeah.
It's a theater full of fucking lazy boys, like a car lot full of lazy boys. And so and for a movie like this, I got a little bit too comfortable.
No.
Because I just
somebody put a mark in the theater.
Because I stopped giving a fuck. Man, it was 10 in the morning. I laid down and slept.
You did all that shit preparing to wake up. I'm gonna wake up at 9:30. I'm gonna make it to the theater, and I'm gonna make my way through this.
Man.
A few moments later.
I'm hanging off that motherfucker.
Man, that shit, don't do that to people, man. That shit was way too comfortable.
They set you up for failure.
Man, they really did. It was only about 5 minutes, but I didn't miss a fucking thing.
No, you didn't.
Because even when I got up, I got on my phone and started getting on email and shit, so.
Yeah.
You probably could have recorded that shit if you were the only one in there.
Nobody checked on me. Nobody walked in.
Oh, my theater, it was just a chick, like, the first 5 minutes just did the rounds, and she was like, fuck it.
Yeah.
I ain't getting no tips.
Fuck my life right now.
It was one of those things where I pissed the projectionist off, and you did too.
Yeah.
They thought they didn't have nothing to do. They had to put that shit on anyway. Max Landis, who has not had a very good year.
Crybaby Landis.
Yeah, Max Landis, John Landis' son, he wrote what was that movie? American Ultra. That movie bombed, and
wasn't happy about that.
And wasn't. And I don't eat yet. Like the internet started like bitching people out about it.
Yeah, I'm loving Twitter when it comes to these directors.
I wrote something on Twitter about him. He liked that shit. It scared the fuck out of me. It was the Zola story. I was like, damn, Zola wrote a better story than Max Landis did. And he went I was like, oh shit. Like, he knows where I am.
He knows where I live. You're gonna be looking at your window like that. Yeah,
strangle you.
Well, I can't wait to hear what he's gonna do now.
I'm waiting on him to freak out because I went to a 2:00 show and there wasn't nobody in there.
Yeah, this shit's going really at 2:00.
2:00. School's out, mind you.
See, I had an excuse for mine.
Yeah, 10 a.m. Nobody's gonna.
Yeah, nobody's gonna go there. Not even old people in my screening. It was just me.
And Lakeline Cinema is in the mall. People are everywhere. People are in the movies. They just weren't seeing this shit.
Yeah, man. He's gonna have a man. This motherfucker's gonna go off tomorrow.
What was the budget on this? Do y'all know?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Man, it had to be. I'm gonna go and say it had to be at least $100 million.
I don't think so.
You don't think maybe 80 or so?
I would say, I'm kind of close. I would say between 65 to 75 million.
Okay, I give you that. It says
40 million. 40 million for that?
They did good.
That's an impressive thing that they
Hell
did.
Yeah.
Some of this shit in like Bulgaria or some shit.
Yeah, whoever that director, I give it. The direction in this movie is good. For the most part, right?
Yeah, I mean, you know what?
Pacing he needs work on, but I mean, visually, as a visual director, this dude, I think he can do something with a big budget.
Oh yeah, he's working with a lame script.
Yeah, a very lame script.
And a lame concept.
Yeah.
Had this been a better movie, like we said, technically everything in here is
some beautiful
pretty,
shots.
It's a pretty impressive movie.
Yeah.
And that brings me to my rating because I almost want to give this. I really want to give it some bullshit because of all the missed opportunities for it. I mean, they really fucked this up. But because it is a competently directed movie, it has some good ideas in there, some good concepts at the beginning and scattered throughout. I'm giving this a very low rental. I mean, like I said, Fantastic Four, that's some bullshit. I mean, that's just a straight up fuck you.
That's a fuck you.
Yeah, maybe this is some bullshit then. I'm gonna go ahead with a very low rental then. So what about you?
Okay, look. I didn't hate this movie, believe it or not. I didn't. Like I said, the first 30 minutes, I was in it. I'm like, this shit is a copy of Sherlock Holmes and that whole kind of thing, but I'm with it. You're done good. And then, like I said, the shit just lulls. It takes every meteoric. I feel like Max Landis got bored writing this shit. Like, he had ideas. He's like, okay, we go here. Is that a bomb? Okay, well, I'll get back to this later. And he just wrote this shit. Hey, my deadline's tomorrow. Oh, shit. And just handed that shit off because it gets lazy. It devolves, basically, as it goes on. And by the time you see the monster in the climax, I'm like, man, this would have been okay 40 minutes ago.
Yeah.
We're here now, and at this point, I'm just wanting to get the fuck out of here. So, yeah, I give it a rental, just a regular rental.
A regular rental. Yeah. Okay. All right, then. Fair enough.
Y'all telling me if y'all caught this shit on Netflix or Redbox or something, you wouldn't be upset that you watched it?
Nah, if you see it on Netflix, you wouldn't be upset.
Oh, okay.
No. You'd be like me falling asleep on that shit at home. Probably.
Yeah, there you go. Because it is some parts that will make you want to fall asleep.
I'm about to say, it gave him narcolepsy and it pissed you off. So like, I figured it would get worse than a rental.
I've been more pissed off,
Yeah.
I was more pissed off, like he said, that they missed so many opportunities and it chose to take such a cliche route.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's watchable if you're cooking or got another distraction going on. It's a rental.
Yeah, it's a rental. And like I said, you watch it at home, I'm telling you, you're gonna fall asleep. The shit is boring. Shit, like an Usher came. Usher had to tell me to leave. I woke up and Usher was like Frankenstein.
It's alive.
That's you.
That's me, yeah. Getting up.
Be careful, Mr. Frankenstein. You toy with wrathful forces.
I cannot argue with that.